Pension penetration is also very low in India. Only 8% of active employees are enrolled in any kind of pension. Compared with the China, तो वहाँ पे 88% है, 11 times higher. So the whole, the India stack that is been developed by the UIDAI, taking all the country's population, especially the bottom pyramid of the country, to online. Protein is a very crucial segment in that whole journey, and it plays very significant part. And I think it is also very good that it is listed so that we can also take a part in this. Hi guys, welcome to the new podcast, which is known as Common Sense by Rupeeting. This week you have me and Aditya joining back. I think
I
your last video was that Global Spirit one.
yeah,
उसके बाद I think
the
आदित्य को
hangover
अभी
is
होश
out
आया.
now.
So Aditya is back, and today, after a long time, we're gonna talk about protein. And no, this is not
Not that
the fitness
protein.
protein. Yeah, because absolutely you can see how fit we are. So we're not gonna talk about that. That would not be justified. But I think we're gonna talk about the company which is named Protean E-Governance. And as the name suggests, it's an e-governance company. So what is it? What does it do? What are the favors working in its, what are the factors working in its favor, and all those things we're going to discuss today. So Protean e-governance technology, it's a simple thing. So it is tied with the whole digital India's journey. So how can it play a part in making India digital? So nowadays, Aditya, you also might relate, and I to definitely can relate with the fact that everywhere I go online, I mean, not physically, but everywhere I go online, there has been this new trend of, KYC verification, Aadhaar verification, your PAN data modification, and whatnot. So every time you need that particular authentication, and Protein exactly come there. So from starting from PAN issuance, so whenever a person wants to get issued a new PAN card, Protein is the platform. There's also another platform by UTI, but Protein is the one which is basically it was NSE's subsidiary. Now they have hived out a significant stake due to regulation and all. So now it is kind of an more or less independent entity, and it is run pretty smoothly. So it takes care of business such as primary business is new PAN card issuance. Secondary, of course, if they are going to issue new PAN card, they'll also help in duplicate PAN card and data modification in the PAN card and all.
Correct.
So interesting thing is, yeah, so they have more than 50% market share, 55% to be precise. And another interesting thing is more than half of that new PAN card issuance now, just last quarter, has been online. So
Okay.
offline, yeah, तो offline में से भी online का पूरा trend has been observed, which is very recent. And just in the second quarter only, they have issued 1.2 crore PAN cards. Because one interesting fact is also there. 75% लोगों के पास अभी तक PAN card है. ठीक है? It is equally divided between male and female. But अभी तो क्या सिर्फ पैन कार्ड से काम नहीं चलता. Now there is new rule that PAN card has to be linked with Aadhaar card. So out of those 75%, only 50% people have done that. So total valid, if we see PAN card, still half of the India's population, which is of course no short of a big number, is still yeah. तो वो भी अभी वो पूरी जर्नी में बाकी है.
Correct.
And Protein doesn't stop there also. It also has something called as pension services. So it's a for NPS, it's a largest provider, and there is also another yojana called Atal Pension Yojana, which तो उसमें तो वो sole provider है. तो 100% market share is in Atal Pension Yojana it is, and in NPS, which is National Pension Scheme, it has 91% market share. And again, in just second quarter, it has added 3.6 million new subscribers. Why this is important? Because again, pension penetration is also very low in India. Only 8% of active employees are enrolled in any kind of pension. Compared with the China, तो वहाँ पे 88% है. So 11 times higher. And third vertical that they are right now is identity services, which is your basically offer Aadhaar authentication. जो OTP आता है आपको आधार कार्ड वेरिफिकेशन के टाइम,
Mm-hmm.
PAN card verification, eKYC, and e-sign, which is also very prominent in nowadays. So the whole, the India stack that is being developed by the UIDAI, taking all the country's population, especially the bottom pyramid of the country, to online. Protein is a very crucial segment in that whole journey, and it plays very significant part. And I think it is also very good that it is listed so that we can also take a part in this. But I think before jumping to that conclusion, maybe Aditya will tell us that what is working in protein's favor. That why I mean, of course, numbers also support, but there are also multiple factors. So maybe Aditya want to highlight that.
Correct. I would like to highlight few particular points, as you have well said that they are the sole provider in
Hmm.
APY like Atal Pension Yojana and
Hmm.
PAN schemes and everything. So see,
Right.
with this, the very main thing that is coming into picture with Protein is they are the key enabler of India's digital revolution. Ki whatever the things that used to happen physically earlier, which has been taken care
Hmm.
online nowadays, it is a key enabler for that particular all of the processes that has been taken care nowadays, mainly online. With this, so obviously India is also into the situation where we take care of that we wanted to make a digital India. Modi ji ka
Hmm.
apna ek sapna. So we are just this
Vision.
Protein vision, right? So this particular Protein is into the favor of that, which will be having some side of government favorables for this particular things as well. Plus it
Right.
enjoys the market leadership, as you have mentioned that they are like just 51% has been done online, out of which 70 to 80% share is itself with Protein. And so basically it is the market leader into this particular sector, so for PAN issuance, for PAN modification and this all things. Whereas
Hmm.
for Atal Pension Yojana, it is a sole provider, so 100% is with them.
Hmm.
And right now only like millions of Indians are doing the using the benefits of NPS, that is national pension scheme, mostly the private sector ones. Again, it is taken care by Protein itself, whereas which is a in very unique
Right.
position. And not only
Hmm.
the market leadership, but needless to mention the second thing, that is recurring revenue model, which is very important for any of the
Yeah.
businesses. So what happens ideally
Hmm.
is, now whenever you do some transactions or you do some contributions for your NPS accounts or something like that, so ideally Protein charges you some sort of amount as a service fee or
Hmm.
platform fee, whatever you call it as. And the majority of revenue that is coming out of Protein is 75 to 80% is based out of that itself. And when we say
Hmm.
here this thing is going to increase in coming days, now there are very lesser people
Right.
who are using NPS, and we see there's a huge population coming taking care of this and NPS and considering their financial well-being, then this model is going to
Hmm.
contribute even more from the in the coming times. And again, yeah, so this
Hmm.
is the digital leap of faith that even we are promoting UPIs nowadays. We have made it cross
Right.
borders, we have also given it to another countries. So it means that we are
Correct.
digitalizing in the transactions as well. So
Hmm.
one thing, it is going to be the transactions are number of transactions are going to be increased, plus this transactions are
Right.
going to be digitally increased.
Hmm.
So this is again into the favor of this particular Protein. Plus, as you have mentioned, that they have one of the service offered is of PAN issuance and PAN modification and other services. So right now across the country, they have total 87,000 points of presence where they operate.
Hmm.
Plus, they have
Wow.
4.42 lakhs PAN centers where people can go and do the stuff or services regarding PAN or
That's
anything.
massive.
Correct. That's actually massive. Even in remote to remote
Yeah.
areas of India, you will find them. Out of the
Correct.
even here,
That's
we
so.
don't see
Hmm.
this much amount of distributors in any of the company as they are taking care. This is very
This I think
huge.
this is the FMCG companies might have this much distributor. So compared to
Exactly.
that pan center, yeah, exactly. This is very, very,
It's
very huge.
very huge.
So I
It's
think
very
that
huge.
also tells you that it is not only online; they are also
Correct.
present in offline market. So
Offline
of
variant
course,
as
that
well.
someone has to take this rural on the bottom end of the pyramid from offline to online. Where
Correct.
if their presence is there in rural areas, as you mentioned, I think 4 lakh is, I mean, pretty much every district in India, I think. So that is
Every
also
remote
helps in.
village you can
Yeah.
consider.
So
So
so it's like
yeah,
how protein is necessary for human body. This
correct.
protein is necessary for country's
Financial well-being,
digital
correct,
body. Yeah,
correct,
exactly.
correct.
So it's sort of a protein thing only for countries. Wow,
So
that's a
yeah,
great.
yeah, that's really great. And yeah, so basically, as we have needlessly discussed, it is aligning with the theme of Digital India. So mostly
Yeah, that is.
initiatives like tax
Mm,
compliances, financial inclusions, or
mm,
some commerce platforms. So these all are things that has
mm,
been taken care digitally with the itself of this
mm,
protein, and we are expecting a sustainable growth coming forward in this particular financial services. So yeah,
mm,
that's the overall majority things that have been favoring for protein. And yeah, we can
mm,
also more discuss on key how growth is going to impact this all favors, because not only favors but the sustainable
mm,
favors will help us to get growth into this
mm.
particular thing. So would
Right.
consider and would request you, as being a research analyst, it would be really great if you could throw some ideas about the growth of this particular trajectory.
Mm. Thank you for the recognition, Mr. Aditya.
Yeah,
And
you're
I
welcome.
think they're not only stopping at tax and pension related services. Interestingly,
Mhm.
and this also tells you about the management's intent about the business. They are not content as in such normal business. Now they're expanding their footprint into the ONDC and whole this agri stack that the government, and basically whatever the normal stack has been there for your idea, government is trying to introduce similar for agri stack. So agriculture, because of course we know the biggest profession in India is agriculture. So as
Correct.
soon as them being digitally enabled is the priority for government. So they are also, of course, right now it is at a very small level, but this is what tells you that they are not thinking about short term. This is a very long term bet that they're taking. And in ONDC also they are prioritizing that the both merchant and customers are on the similar platform, and they're positioning itself as India's digital and commerce sector as well. So these technologies itself are in a very very nascent stage right now, and taking a position in this technology uh, at very early stage will definitely unlock new revenue stream going forward, so that will also help them reducing dependency on their pan related service, because I think 45% of companies revenue right now comes from only pan issuers. So that is
Okay.
I mean, of course it's a good thing because it's a high growth area. But of course once everyone has got the pan card, uske baad kya? Matlab, you can't reissue.
Correct.
It's
What
not have
after
any
that?
dead.
Correct.
Yeah, exactly. Driving license has the limit that ki
Validity.
expire ho jayega and then you have to renew.
Mm.
Yeah, but there is no validity for PAN cards. So for that also they are doing that. Secondly, they are also starting something called as which is SaaS, basically software as a service model. So they are offering new services like open finance stack, because once you have the data you can do pretty much so much things on the data. Of course, responsibility also comes as with data right now, but I think that's what we're going to discuss after a while. But I think
Correct.
they are also expected to monetize these transaction-driven services through a SaaS business model. So it is,
Mm.
of course, very early stages right now, as I said. But I think in the next 2 3 years, this new vertical, I think that companies trying that at least it contributes 25% of the revenue in as soon as next 2 or 3 years. So that
Okay.
also adds another. Again, this is very high growth areas right now. So 25% of business will grow along with the whatever 75% is there. But
Coming.
I think
Right.
main question is, does the numbers back the story? So
Correct.
that I think only we'll see after looking at the financial.
Correct. So,
Hmm,
talking about financials, that we are absolutely in the good phase that the story is very much intact. But story is just a
hmm.
story if it is not backed by numbers, right? So
Correct.
talking about the numbers, so basically a brief comparison about numbers of FY23 and 24. If we are talking, then the revenue that
Hmm,
company has made in FY24 stood at somewhere around 850 crores, which was a growth of around 18.8% from its 20 FY23 level of 742 crores, roughly rough
hmm,
figures. and this was about the revenue. And if we talk about the profitability, then yes, the profit grew to 107 crores, 120 crores from 107 crores earlier in FY23, as compared to this, giving 14.4%. Earlier it was 14.4% of growth, and now it has made somewhere of around 11% of growth for FY24. So yeah, it
Hmm.
shows that the profitability has dipped a bit, but company is doing far better than what used to do earlier.
I think it is
Whereas,
also related to the fact that companies investing in this, new technology that I just talked about.
correct.
So
The
that
capex
also
is still
investment
intact.
take times to,
Correct,
bear fruits, and in the meanwhile, may temporary effect also happen. And I think margin also has
right,
dipped from like around 3% or so. But I think, as I
correct.
said, that this is the cost that company is willing to pay in a very short term for a very long term sustainable growth, which is very important in this case.
Yeah, but talking about growth, there is one more thing, that they have strong cash reserve into their balance sheet of around 750 crores,
Right.
which is almost
Hmm.
11% of the market cap that they hold. And like
Okay,
they
that
can
is a
grow
great
all of
number.
their and they can grow all of their initiatives without thinking of the debt. They themselves have
Yeah, because
are the cash cows.
the business model itself is a very asset light business model, right? You
Correct,
don't need a
correct,
plant or something like that. You just need a technology and a system to implement that technology very well. And I think that
correct,
is like how IT companies operate. It's a very asset light model, and I think 11% of market cap is something which is you rarely see in the market, and that's why I
correct.
think it is sustaining that kind of a market cap as well, because people have concerns about the valuation of these companies and all. But I think once you have a closer look at the financial, and this is only going to grow, like this cash balance,
Correct.
I don't
Yeah,
think so this
obviously.
is something which is, yeah, because cash flow from operation and everything, of course, going to grow.
In fact,
So
they
yeah, that's a
position
good thing.
themselves correct. They themselves position into a very good shape, that in case there is maybe new compliance or something comes out of the government, they are in very good shape to take care of it
Right.
very initiatively without thinking
Yeah,
about
because
any other thing.
compliance cost is a something which can take down a whole company. So that we have seen in the
Correct.
past as well. And I
Correct.
think this is also, exactly. But I think also with the good factors in its favor, there are also some risk associated
गेहूं
with
के
it.
साथ घुन भी तो आएगा. हाँ.
Wow, very,
So
very native reference from Aditya.
so yeah, obviously there are particular risk, and yeah, so I would like to mention you. So please put some light on it.
Yeah. So I think, as I mentioned, that data के साथ अभी responsibility आता है, because data has been, coined as a new oil. So privacy concern is something which is very
Correct.
important, because so you should not be in a position where someone steals that data from you, because you have seen
Correct.
multiple times कि cyber attacks हो गया and everything, and ये लोगों के पास तो बहुत ही crucial data है. This Aadhaar, PAN card, this is like a basic whole life of a person in India. So that is a very crucial data. So company has to invest strongly in cyber security and all those measures. And I think government policy पे भी बहुत depend रहता है. Right now government is in favor of digital India and everything is good and fine. But tomorrow if government thinks that एक company के पास बहुत कुछ आ गया है, so they might also don't want to do that as well,
Correct.
and they might try to, yeah, put a restriction on that as well. And I think, of course, to stay competitive, so they have to invest in new technology, upgrade his infrastructure, because digital infrastructure is also, it's not like ek bar kar diya and then it will keep running on. You will need
Correct.
upgradation in that as well. Of course, not as much and as heavy as physical assets, but yeah, it still needs that, and the company can't afford to avoid that cost as well. So yeah, these are basic some efforts which are very crucial to
Right.
maintaining, efficiency. And if they want to especially be in leader and continue to be in leader in the industry, then these are the some risks that it has to tackle. And I think this is a company as right now with a good balance sheet and all, and a good at least strategy going ahead. Is I think they should do okay. I think more than
Correct.
okay. But yeah, this
So yeah,
protein
so
can transform
basically,
India's muscle.
yeah, all in all, it
Mhm.
will be a game changer for India's digital future going forward.
Yeah.
And yeah, it
Because
seems
I think
very
one fact I think
well.
I miss is also internet
Mhm.
penetration is also very low. And
Correct.
we, as can understand, the whole business is based on internet penetration, which is, I think, I don't have the exact data. Sorry for that.
Mhm. No
But I
worries.
think
But
that is
yeah,
also
it
very
is
low.
correct.
Yeah,
It is
exactly.
ultimately working in favor. Yeah.
Hmm, hmm. So as the smartphone penetration grow, internet penetration grow, and PAN card itself ka penetration will grow. The all the factors are in favor of protein as well. And some risks are there, but of course, as mentioned, that company's strong financial health and alignment with national priority. So I
Correct.
think it sets a solid foundation for a protein is a foundation, and now it's a
Yeah.
solid foundation for protein.
Got
So I
it. Got
think
it.
that's pretty much it. I think we should be able to. We have pretty much covered everything,
Yeah.
and that will be a wrap for this week. And we will see you guys in the next week's video. Do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and yeah, take care. Bye bye.